Hi there. So I'm Sandra Parker, and today I get to do one of the things I love the most, which is interview one of my fabulous clients to talk about the results that they've got since they've done Just the Tonic and just to catch up and see how they are. So we've got Rebecca with us. Welcome, Rebecca. Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you. Thank you, Sandra.
Oh, you're so welcome. So I'm trying to remember when we first. So it's the 1st of December, and you might not have noticed, but I have got a sparkle on my
Oh, on
sleeve.
your
Just
jumper. Yeah.
my she once allowed Christmas jumpers from the 1st of December.
Yeah.
So
She did put up a Christmas song. I was like, oh, it
yes,
started.
yes, absolutely. It's like being in one of those lifts that you're stuck in John Lewis or something. So if we go back to the summer when we first spoke,
hmm
so what I'd love to hear about is if you could share roughly how much you were drinking and why you wanted to make a change.
Okay. Well, sort of when we got in touch, well, I would have been drinking daily, for sure, and at least a bottle of wine a night, sometimes more, sometimes a couple beers and then a bottle of wine. On the weekends, it would have been and for sure, because that was my weekday. So weekends still were like heavier because it was the weekend. So it probably would have been a couple bottles of wine. And yeah, and I'd been doing that for a while. I felt like I've always, well, not, well, yeah, I've always had periods where I felt like I've struggled with alcohol and had, have done a couple dry Januaries, that kind of thing. I do think during COVID it got heavier and then it just kind of stayed that way. And I was so tired of it. It's like I hate it. It's almost like, you can't live with it. You can't,
Yeah.
you don't want to live with it, but you can't live without it kind of feel. And I just knew that I was just I just about just destroying myself. I'd have the hangover, well, the anxiety in the mornings. I'd have the head. I had that kind of, swearing in the mornings. I wasn't going to drink that evening. And then by 5 o'clock rolled around, you did. And I suppose the year before I had sort of started kind of, hearing what do they call it, like that gray area drinking, because I was, like, I mean, I'm a full-time worker. As far as me personally, I probably, as I get older, I get more confident. I get, but it was just the alcohol. It's like I just could, so I didn't feel like I was going down a slippery slope like they kind of talk about if you're, say, an AA. It's like if you're just going to get worse and worse and worse and worse. So I wasn't like that, but I knew I had a problem. And I just felt trapped. I didn't know what to do, but I was miserable. I mean, I just was really unhappy. I hated myself. I hated what I was doing to myself, but then felt like maybe I just didn't care enough about myself to change. It was just a vicious cycle. Um, and I don't know. So yeah, so I guess I had sort of started, about that sort of gray area drinking and, people talk about sober curious. And so I'd read a couple books and there were some Facebook groups, but they were just so huge, so global, and so sort of impersonal. And then I don't know. I think I just came across you on Facebook, I suppose. I guess your algorithms, you finally got in there.
Yeah.
So anyways, I saw your thing, and for one, like, I mean, I probably sound like I have an American accent, but I live in Northern Ireland, so I knew that you were more local. Um, from your accent, and then I actually watched a couple of these things that you're doing with me, and there was actually a Belfast woman on it, and I just thought, God, this might be a smaller group and a bit maybe something that I can connect with, that it doesn't just feel so, 1,000 people on it kind of thing. And so yeah, after I watched your talking and then whatever the links were that you provide, I thought, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna book the call and see what happens.
And thank you for sharing that. It's interesting because from the outside, you probably looked like everything was fine, right? For people
Yeah,
that
oh yeah.
didn't
Yeah,
know.
nobody like I think people would be shocked. Well, except the very close people to me, like my
Yeah,
sisters or my partner that I would share these kind of things with, but no, the
yeah,
outside world I think would be shocked to
yeah.
even know.
So
Yeah.
you, yeah, and you were feeling pretty miserable about yourself. So you decided that this sounded like a good fit. So when we had the first call, what was your goal in terms of, we understand how miserable you were. What was your ideal scenario?
Um, I wanted to stop drinking. Yeah. I mean, I knew that that's what I needed, but I couldn't do it on my own.
Right.
And because I tried to do it on my own before, and um, I suppose the thing that it what I really wanted was that mind shift. I wanted not to want it. I didn't want to be like, white knuckling all the time, knowing not drinking, but like having a hard time about it. I just wanted to be in a place where it's like, this is my life and I'm a non-drinker and I don't want it. I'm
To be,
happy.
yeah,
Yeah.
sort of indifferent to it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, understand. So we had the first call, and I remember it was emotional, and
Yes,
you decided to go ahead.
I did.
So did you, at that point, did you think this was going to work?
I wasn't sure, I mean, I was just with the commitment and everything. I was nervous. I was like, am I kind of, I mean, I guess, is this me just throwing a lot of, I'm going to be honest, money away?
Yeah,
Is this going to help? But I thought, you know what? I need to do something. And I don't know if it was just a feel with speaking to you. I just thought, you got to give it a go, Rebecca, because I think you'd ask me what, because I think you actually asked me at the day about if I didn't do this now or whatever, what would be the worst thing? And my worst thing was I just wouldn't want to be here anymore.
right.
And so I knew it's like, Rebecca, you got to do something like, so just trust. I can't even remember. Like, it's one of those things you might have
Yeah,
said, trust the process,
yeah,
because I know during the course you say it, but it was like, just trust it, just go, just do it,
right.
you know?
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's helpful for us to look at, well, if I don't do this, because there can be anxiety, of course, for making a big decision. I think we sometimes forget that not doing it is also a decision.
Yeah,
So you took the plunge.
I did take
So
the plunge.
so when you think back, like tell me, so there's obviously different elements of the program. So you were fabulous at posting and sharing in the group, but I know like a lot of people that was probably tricky for you in the beginning.
hmm
How did you find the group? What impact did that have on you?
I actually thought the group was helpful. I liked it because, I mean, like I said, that can't remember. Because I think you asked me, do I want to join, because it's obviously their WhatsApp groups, and you were like, do you want to join a bigger group, a smaller group? And
Yeah,
I just thought, no, I want the smaller group because I want to feel like I know people,
yeah,
and it was nice. It was nice that it was a small group. When we say small, like 10 or 12, I can't remember because
yeah,
people do join. And I felt it very supportive. You didn't feel like you were in it on your own. There were other people a little bit further ahead, so you could actually see them, kind of posting and then, people joining right around the time you were. And then also a part of that, you had the group calls, which were nice because you had like 3 a week. You could
yeah,
attend them all or attend one. And it was actually then nice to be putting the faces to the people that were in your group. And then there'd be other people that weren't in your group, but maybe your stories were similar. So you kind of
yeah,
clicked with them and kept hoping to see them in a call. So,
yeah.
yeah, so I mean it was, and that's what I needed. I needed to feel a part of support. It felt supportive and it
Right.
felt personally supported, not just a mass of and you're very good too because you comment on you know what I mean? You are very good on commenting on the calls. on, doing little recorded messages for people when you feel like they maybe need a little bit of a lift or a little bit of advice, you know,
Yeah.
kind of outside of everything. And then, but everyone gets to listen to those as well. So it's, so other people are getting helped, even if maybe they weren't the one that posted the particular issue or whatever. So yeah, no, it was really, really good. And that's probably one of the ones, I don't know if Trish would say, I would have watched all the recordings, of all the, like the ones you miss the way you record them.
Yeah.
It's nice because then you can go back in your own time if you can't make it. And I really enjoyed that as well. And I remember one week I was your admin person texting her. I'm like, when are you going to put the calls up? So
Oh, yeah.
it's like I haven't seen. That's like I'm not. I'd like to see. It just helped me too, because again, that's another way of you're seeing people, you're not on the call, but like I had said, it's another time where if you're feeling low or you have a bit of an urge, you just stick it on, and it just gives you that lift, and that kind of puts you back on track again. So I kind of did,
Yeah.
I'm probably really more of a auditory or kind of seeing someone speaking type of learner more than reading. So and even your lessons.
Yeah.
They're audio
Yeah.
instead of me having to read a book,
Right.
suited my learning
Yeah.
style as well. So
Fantastic. And when I think about you being in the program, I mean, one of the things that's great about you, you were all in, right? I remember
yeah,
one time we were calling you the Journal Queen.
yeah,
So you took on board the coaching, and you were alcohol free from day one. So some
yeah.
people wait until like week 7, but everybody's different. When you look back, Rebecca, when do you think things started to change for you in terms of it became a bit more normal for you to not drink?
Um, that's a good question. I think I guess for me, it was more there were some pivotal things. And it's hard to maybe think of the timeline, but I know journaling because I'm not a normally journal person. And I know, and it could have been, um, I just remember it was around my dad. It was around beliefs. It was that belief about not, sorry, I'll just say not being able to be angry. So I had
Yeah,
a really hard time dealing with negative emotions and would drink them away.
yeah,
So I don't remember when it came up, but it was like it was kind of some things in the journaling. Certainly, having some of the one-to-one coaching calls. There was one, I think one particular with Lisa, when you talk about the different, your critical head and
yeah,
then who you can truly be. Obviously the beat call when we kind of look at the beliefs.
yeah,
I think it was those kind of things that
right,
really gave me that mind shift
yeah,
of really knowing why am I drink, what are the reasons I'm drinking, what is going on, and kind of releasing that and uncovering it. And I guess moving beyond it, maybe, I don't know. But it's for me, it was that work.
yeah. Sort of pushing,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. So because you realize, I mean, I used to think it's like, it's when you really think about it, it's really easy not to drink. You just don't pick it up. But actually, it's all the head stuff that
yeah,
like
yeah.
makes you keep
Physically,
going back. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's like that's what's keeping you stuck.
yes,
And you're hiding behind the alcohol and you're anesthetizing and you're escaping and you're, maybe um, kind of having a mask sort of identity of who you actually are and what you're like because you've been this drinking person for so long that you even lose who you really are. And it's through that work that it's
yeah,
like you kind of rediscover yourself. And and yeah, and it was, I mean, I do remember a few weeks it was very emotional because I am an emotional person. And it was challenging to sort of deal with my emotions, but like I said, I really felt like the support was there. And I suppose for me, in a sense, it was like, even though we talk about this community and how great it was like, I'm not going to walk down the street and see you. So it's like I felt a little bit of that sort of anonymous,
Yeah, bit of
just
freedom.
freedom just to share,
Yeah,
just to really just open it up and just be like, all in that way as
yeah,
well. Not worried about what people were going to think about me. But you get very quickly that they don't think anything
yeah,
about you or being supportive. So if you are the type of person that worries about that and you have a hard time kind of open yourself up, it's just so accepting and the thing is everybody's been through it and everybody's like our stories are slightly different, but our heads are the same in the
yeah,
sense of our being critical of ourselves or having bad life experiences, whatever has gotten us to a point that we know we need to change.
yeah, yeah. That's amazing. I mean, I could definitely see the difference. And it happens with, I mean, I was the same. It happens with a lot of clients, happens with me where people can start off feeling like they're living with anxiety, they're living with like low self-esteem, and the outside it looks fine,
Hmm.
but I could see you becoming more relaxed. It was like we could see your real personality come out,
Yeah.
and when you were sharing, when you think about how you feel about yourself now, so you said that you really didn't like yourself, you felt miserable, you felt anxious. How do you feel now?
I feel really good. Yeah, I mean, I like me. And I actually
Amazing.
see it in a way that, like, I mean, just to give an example, like I was away doing a kayaking course and I walk in this room and everybody's really quiet and I just like start talking to people, you know? And it's like, just because I don't know, there's just a sense of, I feel more grounded in myself and um, I feel more grounded in myself and feel more like I am more authentic or true, and I can't say
Yeah,
that, but what that gives me is I feel such more of a freedom of just being, and like not work. Like my head has gotten so quiet.
right.
That would be like if you want to explain
Huge.
just how I am, it's like I don't have all that head stuff. So that's what I mean. Like going into a room of people I don't know, there's not that. It was just like, okay, we're gonna spend a couple days together, or, I'll just get to know some
Yeah,
people. I'm just more alive.
amazing. And
Yeah, I just am like,
I think
it's
of
like here,
that
I am showing up.
for
I'm
you.
not
Yeah,
hiding behind, anxiety and feeling horrible and having a voice in my head, just berating me. It's just like I'm showing up
you
and just
enjoy
kind
your
of,
life.
yeah, and
When
feel
you
more
said that,
alive. Yeah.
like, the sense that I got as you were saying that was someone who's really comfortable in their own skin, someone who feels at ease with themselves, which is
Yeah.
wonderful because not many people do.
Yeah, no, I definitely feel more comfortable in my own skin and at ease with myself. And um yeah, and just I don't analyze things as much or take things, so yeah, and it's just amazing that's the most amazing thing is how much if you really do it,
Yeah,
really put yourself in it and do the advice that if
yeah,
you join this program, you will be getting. If you're just all in and do it, you get more than you would ever ask for. You actually do, I think. And it's funny because it takes kind of sitting here chatting to you to really just, being reflective on it all. It's like I did. I've gotten my life back plus some.
that's amazing.
Yeah. And
Well,
and it's, you know what, I love being a non-drinker. I love I mean, that's me.
yeah,
I knew that I wanted to stop and I'm now 4 months, haven't had a drink and it's like I just tell people I don't drink.
that's brilliant. So we're at the start of December. I'm guessing when we first spoke, if I had said to you, we're going to catch up at the beginning of December and you're going to be talking about how you haven't drank for 4 months and you feel good about it, you'd have probably been surprised.
Yeah, I would have it would have been what I hoped for. It was like, okay.
It really
It
worked.
does what it says on the tin.
Amazing.
It
What about
actually works.
what about December? So for some people, certainly when I was drinking, my pattern was binge drinking. So I would get really worried that I would go off the rails. And I know other people just worry that there's more stress. And if they're drinking
Yeah.
every day, they drink more. What does it feel like thinking about like the party season now versus previously?
Um, I'm not, well, I mean, to be honest, it was, you know, it's not that you never think about a drink, like those, as we learn and that it's just everywhere, like
Yeah.
on billboards, holidays, whatever. So there are times that, you'll see something and you'll have that flash of sort of buying into it or like being like,
Yeah.
oh, wouldn't that be great? But because of sort of what you learned and just the change in you, you just can very quickly be like, that's just marketing,
Yeah.
tempting me, you know what I mean? So yeah, so I'm not, I mean, like tomorrow I'm actually going to Gran Canaria for a week with my partner.
I remember we were chatting about, I thought,
Yeah.
I'm sure you've got
And
a holiday in
so, and
December.
I put it up, yeah, I have not a worry that I'm gonna drink or that I'm gonna be tempted by it. I mean, I do enjoy beer, so I do like the alcohol-free beers. Um, I do think they're, as we've talked about, like an adult drink. They are a nice sort of substitute in certain
Yep.
situations that just kind of make you not stand out so much. Not that
Yeah.
it really
Like an adult.
matters, but but I do enjoy a beer, so like I'll have those. And then yeah, no, I was out for one Christmas night and it was fine. Like I'm lucky I have some real supportive friends. So my
Yeah.
friends know, and my sons know. So Christmas Day, like we would have usually done samosas. So that's like,
Yeah.
champagne and orange juice. So I'll be having my no secca and orange
Good for you.
just to keep a little bit of the, but no, I'm not worried about it. Because I like the way I am now so much. I would, and it's funny because people had said too, like about playing it forward, I just play it back. It's like I do not want to go back there. And literally to think something in a glass can take everything away that I've gained, I just wouldn't give it to it. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah. That's
it's like why,
amazing.
um, so, and you're so much healthier, and you learn all this, just even all the physical factors and, we're getting older and I think about my
Yeah.
brain health and, it's just, you just learn, I just want to have a healthier lifestyle altogether anyways. So why would I want to do something that counterproducts that?
Yeah. Understand. What about your sons? What have they noticed? What have they said?
They're delighted. Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah, no, they're proud of me. I mean, they've seen me try, I mean, not try, they've seen me, have some dry periods, not as long as this, but I think they note that it's probably more of a permanent change, which, yeah.
Yeah.
And it'll be great Christmas. I can't wait because there are ones in Barcelona and ones traveling in India at the minute. So it'll be lovely to have them home and
Oh, brilliant.
yeah,
Yeah. You'll
yeah.
remember it all. You'll enjoy it.
Yes, we will enjoy it.
That's amazing. I mean, you're doing so well. If somebody was listening to this and they were thinking, gosh, I can really relate to where Rebecca said she was, where I feel miserable, I really don't like myself, I'm drinking way too much. If they were listening to this, but they were scared to like reach out and ask for help, what would you say to them?
I would say take the risk. I mean, I suppose what would I say to them? There's nothing to be afraid of, you know? It can, I know what it's like to feel such a dependence on alcohol that you're wondering, how am I going to live without it? But it's so much better. and you know it's so much better. That's why you kind of want to stop. You know it, like there is
Yeah.
the part of you, you're authentic, the part of you that comes out after you get off
Yeah.
the stuff is back there going, do it, do it, do it.
Yeah.
And you just have to feel the fear and do it anyways.
That's
But it
great.
is, it's so worth it. It is. And it's yeah, it's so worth it. And Sandra puts her heart and soul into it and has a great team of people around her. And yeah.
Thank you for your kind words. That was fabulous. Well done.